Kamkunji rally. We are not getting to that because we'll be discussing that in detail later on. And just let us take a look at the Daily Nation. Before we get into, the top headline here speaks of divorce crisis, but that aside a little bit, we'll finalize with that. Was KCSE exam stolen? This is the Daily Nation, and I believe that is on your screen. Was KCSE exam stolen? Questions over high grades. Now, Edgar, I want to put this to you.
Yes.
Because there's been a debate in regards to the exams that was released just recently by the Education Ministry. Questions have emerged over credibility of last year's Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education KCSE exams after some secondary schools recorded a sudden rise in the number of candidates with straight A's, but Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mashogu refuted the cheating claims, insisting the exams were not leaked to favor certain schools. Now, there's schools that, and a region that was trending on Twitter just after the release of these exams, and this is Kisii, because there are so many schools in that particular region that did do very well compared to last year. We just did a story here of a school that recorded a mean grade of 7.054 compared to last year when it had 4 point something. Was this, when you look at these results, what do you make of them in regards to KCSE?
The CS for Education is telling us that exams were not stolen, and we are taking that truth.
Okay.
Because they are the guardians of the truth in Kenya. They are the guardians of what we really are. Because, Brian, what you scored is what you are. The question and the problem is going to come out when the credibility of a Kenyan, someone who has graduated from a Kenyan system is questioned out there. Okay. Kenyans are known to be people who are educated, to be people who are hardworking in both class and outside at work. Now, what if we are questioned outside? You know, the world is watching, and there are claims that it was stolen. There's a headmaster who moved from Maranda to a certain school and made a difference.
Okay. So you believe that is the difference in terms of if this person, if a head teacher was making a certain school perform, if they transfer to a different school, they are bound to make the same,
Give the devil its due.
Okay.
That guy is a hard worker. We don't know what he did. Most of us, when given a class to be teachers, will not do anything. We think a class is just walk in and walk out. But those people really work hard. When you see them scoring an 11.5, that is an A minus. That's actually an A, And you tell me people are not hardworking out there. You tell me people paid people to get results. Come on, Kenyans. When Nyakemincha, the school that we know, came out strong and scored, that is an improvement. We should applaud them. But if there were irregularities, Brian, let us use the right channels and probe irregularities. Okay. Last year, there was a go-slow of teachers. And someone said that the go-slow affected the exams because teachers were like, if you're not treating us well, why then should we guard exams? There are many players in the exam room. One, all the teachers who are not connected with exams are sent home. Two, invigilators are in class. Three, supervisors are there. Four, policemen are there. Five, there are unannounced supervisors moving from school to school.
So you believe that with all these mechanisms in place, it's definitely a little bit tricky to have, leakage of exams?
And Matiang'i walking around. Man.
that was then. But the comparison right now is that during the Matiang'i time, there's a little bit of cheating. And, maybe it is believed that a lot of people that got their results at that particular time when he was still Minister for both Interior and also sometime Education, those were genuine results. Because there wasn't cheating. People are trying to compare, Matiang'i and Magoha, and now, Machogu. And all.
But these are Magoha's results. These are not Kenya Kwanza results. And let me just mention for the record, as me are playing politics with this. Please,
I don't think they'll go that far.
This is Magoha and Uhuru Kenyatta. former president.
But these exams were done during the tenure of, when just William Ruto took office, just the other day.
Well, the students belong to Magoha. They were prepared by Magoha. Okay. In fact, this is just an administrator, Adio, who was appointed as a CS for education. And he stayed in office for a month.
Okay.
And people went into exams.
I want us to look at something here before we wind up on the newspaper review. Now, there's still on the Daily Nation, fears of a price hike, shortage of basic goods, shortage of green pack posing a threat to manufacturing and other local industries which rely on the U.S. currency to import key raw materials and inputs. That is a story on the Daily Nation. Something else that you can also find on the Daily Nation is church where mentally ill are jailed for prayers. Now, mysterious Coptic Holy Ghost Church in Kisumu hosts dark secrets behind its walls, dingy cells holding patients with mental illness for healing. That is a story on page 12 of the Daily Nation. A quick one. What's your take on that one?
Why? The church? What?
Where the church actually, the people that are mentally ill are jailed for prayers. They have to be prayed for to get better. You believe that?
Religion is such a very emotive issue that, if discussed, will split the country into a million times.
I know, and as a country, I think we try as much as we can to avoid that kind of discussion because, we are a very religious country.
Yes.
And, there are things we don't, people believe whatever they do believe.
Let me tell you, Brian,
you can't take away
there are people who believe that jailing, quote unquote, of these people behind walls is going to help them.
Okay.
And when you question such a thing,
right. I want to take a short break,
absurd.
but before we do that, Edgar, let me just take, this was a very big story here on the Daily Nation. Divorce crisis in the country. Now, couples are going online and hiring private detectives to spy on each other.
Yes.
And looking at statistics, the people that never married is 1.8 million. Married, it's 8.4 million. Widowed, 981,000. Divorced and separated, 661,000. Now, not this is total households in the country is 12 million. Now, 1 in every 18 households in Kenya is headed by someone who has been divorced or separated, a 16% rise in a decade, a report by a government agency shows. And the chances of new union breaking are now even higher. Just what could be contributing to this sorry state of affairs? A quick one.
Yes.
What do you make of that?
Well, I'm married and...
Are you ready for a divorce?
Let me tell you, Brian.
Yeah.
The things you see in the house are not easy. Men and women. The men who are in the house have to be men and have to be fathers. They have to be providers. And that is what traditionally...
It was intended.
Yes.
But this is my question to you, because this report actually says, people are going private, hiring private detectives to actually spy on each other. Would you do that?
I wouldn't do that.
Okay.
Let me not say it. When it gets somewhere, then you start doing it. But let me just say this, Brian. Long time ago, a man would go with land. Before you get married, you have land, you build your houses, you have cows. Those are factors of production.
Okay.
Today, the man on the streets, even if I ask you, how much land do you have? You will tell me, I just have my job.
Yeah.
Your wife just has a job like you.
Okay.
What's the difference between you and her? We used to command respect.
Okay, so we don't have anything that is differentiating us from the other gender?
Nothing.
Okay.
The world is changing. And that's why there's war in the house. Who is bigger?
And
who is better? Yes.
Okay, so that is exactly, according to you, that's what's leading to more break.
So men out there, up your game.
Okay.
Yeah.